Twinkle, twinkle, little star, how I wonder what you are. Up above the world so high, like the diamond in the sky.
Welcome, my amazing viewers. Thank you so much for joining me in my program once again. I appreciate you wherever you are connecting from. If you are joining me from any part of the world, I really do appreciate you. Please go to the comment section at all time. Leave your comments after watching the video. Comment according to what you have watched and make your contribution. It's all welcome. Remember, in this channel, I bring you information on things that are happening in Nigeria, when it happens, how it happens, and where it happens. I bring it to your doorstep for you to see what is going on in the country, Nigeria. And today, I want to share with you a very important video. This is a video that has to do with one of our renowned journalists, very popular journalist that you all know, Dele Mohammed. I want to share with you some important quotes of Dele Mohammed, what he has to say about the situation of Nigeria. He has made a lot of contributions in his speech. He has said a lot of outstanding words regarding to the situation of Nigeria and a way forward. I want to share with you some of those quotes so that you can be aware and be informed. Let's watch. Please watch to the end and also subscribe after watching. Thank you.
I have advised this government consistently, and I'm saying it now again on this huge platform, that the president should do everything within his power to unite Nigeria and Nigerians. It is very important.
And for as long as I live, I would always tell my leader the truth. I have nothing against. You know, when you say we should look forward, I am hoping that the government of today, beyond naming the stadium after Abiola, beyond declaring the public holiday, I'm hoping that they will also be able to unite Nigeria.
Do you see that
we should not give up hope. They are going to try and frustrate us as much as possible. Let us know that nobody can be in power forever. So, if God has given you the opportunity to govern a country as great as Nigeria, and you cannot make the best of it, just know that one day, power will, if you don't leave power, power will leave you. So I can only plead with them that just remember that tomorrow will come. Tomorrow always comes. How can anybody say an Igbo man cannot be president of Nigeria and I will accept it? Then it shows how brainless I am. If I'm the president of Nigeria today, I would have turned southeast Nigeria into the hub, our own Silicon Valley. These are people endowed. They are as brilliant as the Chinese, the Koreans, and the Indians put together. We have them. Why are we not using them? But because there was a civil war before, and we said we have forgiven ourselves, and now, but you are forgiving yourselves, but an Igbo man cannot become anything in Nigeria, cannot be president, cannot be trusted to be Inspector General of Police, cannot be trusted. Why? Look at Joe Biden. He has already appointed Nigerians into his government. Already. Before his inauguration, he already appointed Nigerians. He didn't say, because they say Nigerians, so they are very corrupt people, all those stupid, sentiments that people express against us. He appointed them. Why? He saw their talent. He appointed the first black man. Now, Pentagon has a new Secretary of Defense. He's a black man. In Nigeria, you say an Igbo man cannot be Inspector General of Police, an Igbo man cannot be Chief of Army Staff, an Igbo man. Why? So if you don't want them, if you don't trust them, and they say they want to go, then so why are you then stopping them? Why are you stopping them? You don't want me, and you are saying, even slaves got freedom. These are people contributing to world economy, not just, listen, not Nigerian economy. The Igbos are contributing to world economy. There is no country I have been, I will not find an Igbo man either at the peak of academia, at the peak of business, at the peak of professions. They are everywhere. Medical doctors, surgeons, lawyers, bankers, they are everywhere. And then you come back to Nigeria, you are discriminating against them. And you are saying they will not agitate for their own nation. We are the ones causing the problem. If you want an Igbo man, then bring them nearer and see if they will not perform. In this Lagos today where we live, anything we want to do now, innovation, the first thing is, let's go to Computer Village. Who are the people controlling Computer Village? Let's go to Alaba. Who are the people controlling Alaba? Do you think people with empty brains can control those things that the Igbos control? Even with all this fight, Biafra, if you go to Kano today, without the Igbo selling spare parts, nobody will function. All the cars there will come to stand still. You go to Sokoto, you will meet them there. Go to Borno, go to Iraq, go to Afghanistan, you see Igbo man doing great. My own was 1991. I didn't know MKO was in London. So I was going to a party in Stratford. So, but I needed to call my apartment. Then I was expecting a message there. So I put a 20p coin into the box. After I finished talking, I still had 10p left. So I didn't want to waste it. I said, oh, let me call DJ Abiola. So someone picked the call and I said, can I speak to DJ Abiola? The person said, who is that? I said, my name is Dele Momodu. Then I heard, Dele! Then me too, and said, who is that? My name is Moshood Abiola. The phone wanted to unlock my God punish poverty. You won't believe it. Said, Dele one. Where are you? I said, I'm in Stratford, sir. Can you come to my house right away? I don't know if I'm for retire or for a come and see. Come and see. You will think I was Ben Johnson. He said, so jump on the tube. When you get to Great Portland Street Station, when you come out, so walk across to Chester Terrace. I'll be waiting for you. Abiola will be waiting for you. Wow. Imagine. Son of Yaoyo. That got done for me. Hey, waiting. So I got there, to cut the long story short. It was a video phone. I pressed it. Phew. No response. I told my boss changed his mind. I was going to press it a second time. Then George is a Igbo guy. Then opened the door. He said, Chief is waiting for you in his bedroom. In that place, with the elevator. I said, what? Then I opened the door. I saw my pa on his bed. He was in his house coat. Deji, his son was sitting. They were watching a video of a speech he made somewhere. To cut the long story short, started just Daily One. He was talking about my life, you know. Then he said, I told you to go and marry. You have not married. So what are you waiting for? Yeah? You can't put signature on a woman's thigh. So what's your problem? I said, Daddy, I don't have money for that. He said, no. Nobody waits until you have everything. You have to do it like you. I said, my girlfriend, my wife today, were cutting. So it was time for me to go. Then he looked at me, Daily One. Let me find you something. 2.5 grand be okay for you? Me that it was £290 that followed me to London. Somebody is now asking me if 2,500 would be okay. In 1991, oh boy, I stood up. My legs were already shaking. Then he looked at me again. He brought out the chair. Oh, that country, London, do you have an account in London? I said, no, sir. Okay, I will ask them to open 2 for you.
Wow.
Yeah. He said, you even said your girlfriend is around, then I'll make the money from grand. I went on the floor. On the floor? 4 grand straight. In 1991. Yes. It was more than my salary in 1 year. I know. I went on the floor. Then, as he was writing the check, then he turned the back. They are calling Haywood. Biara has no accounts in the UK. This opened 2. It was a Sunday. I forgot the elevator to start with. Money? No. The easiest way to go mental is to see the kind of money that you never bargain for.
Yeah, that's true.
And unexpectedly, suddenly, so I came downstairs. I couldn't open the door. I ran back upstairs. You could see that boy money. I'm telling you. So now I had to go and let me out. When I got into Regent's Park, his house was overlooking the Regent's Park. So I was singing. Like you said, I could not sleep. I'm telling you, money is a demon. I was afraid. I said maybe something will fall on the check and I won't be able to go back to him. Maybe somebody will take. I was thinking of. Then in the morning, I went to number 266 Pentonville Avenue.
I can still remember.
How can I? You will forget your biggest break in life. Your biggest break in life. How can you forget? Colin Haywood, I will never forget his name. The bank manager later was Peter Mumford, who became his personal assistant.
Wow. Yes.
Yes. Chief Abiola employed Peter Mumford from National Westminster Bank, this first bank. And the people have money today. No. If you have the money, you can't spend it that way. The man was. No. The style is uncommon. Anywhere I can tell you, let Bill Gates sit down here, let Warren Buffett sit down here. They will be the center of attraction.
Yes.
We lost a man.
Yes.
We lost a man. That was how he opened the account. Then when I saw Colin Haywood the following day, the first thing I asked is when he saw the check. Oh, from Chief Abiola. So would you need some cash? I look at the man. Give me 1 grand. I guarantee that one inside my pocket.